Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Why am I here? I'm here to share with you 7 chapters of life that is taught to me by just baking bread. This is not just any food, it is a story, it is science, it is an art, and most of all, it's a metaphor of life. I'm a humble baker. What's that I do? I convert simple ingredients like flour, water, salt, and yeast to something very beautiful and meaningful. In my part of the country, the time is also considered to be one of the ingredients. I'm a baker. I wake up to the smell of fermentation, the sound of crackling crusts, and the sight of immense satisfaction of dough rising to its glory. I'm a baker. I'm also a human being like you. Somewhere down the line, I, as a baker, realized bread is just not something we eat. It is something we live with. Today, I'm not here to teach you how to bake bread, of course. Instead, I want to show you how it mirrors life in its purest, in its most profound form. So, let's begin with 5 ingredients: flour, water, salt, yeast, and of course, the time. Chapter 1, the ingredients of life, the beginning. The bread is found in almost every culture. Let it be the naan that traveled to India from Persia, or to the royal baguettes of France, or let it be a tortilla in Mexico, or injeras in Ethiopia. Every community has its version. It is just flour, water, salt, yeast, and of course, the time. But simplicity is deceptive, is it so? Like life, bread is not easy. Bread connects us. It has been a communion, a currency, comfort, and a community. In case, if you're thinking the word companion, where it has come from 2 Latin words called com and panis. Panis means bread, and one with whom you share the bread with. Life begins the same way. We are all made of simple beginnings. Our family, our culture, and the values that we inherit. As individual thoughts, it may seem small, but when brought together, they become the foundation of who we are. So, the first lesson out of chapter 1 is simplicity is deceptive. Like life, bread is not easy. Chapter 2, needy, struggles and learning. When I learned to make bread, I thought it was just about precision and accuracy, nothing else. But the dough had other lessons to teach. When you knead the dough, it pushes back. It resists, like we do when faced with change, growth, or even challenges. But the more you work it, gently, patiently, the stronger it becomes. So just for your understanding, there are 2 proteins which is already there in the flour by the name gliadin and the glutenin. When combined together in the presence of water and pressure, it forms one single protein called as gluten. So here in this case, the gluten network forms and the structure develops. So lesson 2 from the chapter 2 is resistance is not failure. It is transformation. Chapter 3, fermentation, the inner growth. Inside the dough, yeast consumes sugar and releases carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide that is being produced by the yeast, it gives the volume for the bread, and the alcohol evaporates while it is getting baked. So tiny little bubbles are formed. The dough breathes. It's alive. Fermentation is a controlled rot. It is chaos turned into order. And that is what life is, isn't it? We make meaning from the mess. So technically, you don't make bread. You let the bread happen. What a wonderful feeling it is. Just like you can't force growth, love, or healing, you let it rise slowly, gently, and steadily. When we leave the dough to ferment, nothing seems to happen first. It just sits there. But inside, an invisible work is taking place. The dough, it becomes lighter and fuller, not only because of the effort that you have taken, but also because of my fifth ingredient, that is time. So the lesson from chapter 3 is fermentation is a controlled role. It is chaos turned into order. Chapter 4, shaping and second rise, the second chance. Once the dough has risen, we press it down. Just like life, sometimes it is not predictable. At first we wonder, what was all that effort for?
Just to collapse under our hands? But then something very beautiful happens.
It rises again, this time more stronger, more steadily, more defined, and ready for the oven. Life too gives us second chances. We may fall, feel deflated, even broken. Yet with faith and patience, we rise again and again, shaped by our struggles, refined by our failures. The lesson from chapter 4 is, with faith and patience, we rise again, shaped by our struggles, refined by our failures. Chapter 5, the oven, becoming. The oven is where the dough finally becomes a bread, where it finds its true value in life. The heat is unforgiving. It is humongous. It is intense. Yet it is through that fire that the loaf finds the crust, its flavor, and it's the truest, the format of it. You think every loaf comes out right? Sometimes it doesn't even rise. That might be the reason, but might be the time that we realize that the yeast is not working. Sometimes it even burns. But we bakers, we don't throw it away. A good baker doesn't give up on the dough. You learn from it, try again and again, and perfect the art of baking. In life, we are all unfinished doughs. We rise, we fall, and we are reshaped. Bread has taught me to be gentle with myself. With others, it has taught me that imperfection is part of the beauty. So, lesson number 5 from chapter 5 is imperfection is part of the beauty. Chapter 6, sharing the loaf, the essence of life. Bread, no matter how perfectly it is baked, it finds its true meaning only when it is broken and it is shared. Life is just same. Our talents, our struggles, and our growth, none of those is complete until we share it. Baking bread has been a sacred art for many centuries. Religions use it in rituals, families use it to reconnect, strangers use it to build trust. So the learning from chapter 6 is bread finds its true meaning only when it is broken and it is shared. Chapter 7, the conclusion. From ingredients to kneading, from fermentation to shaping, from ovens to sharing the loaf, bread mirrors life itself. So here is what I want to leave you with. The next time when you hold a piece of bread, don't just eat it. Feel it, smell it, tear it. Remember, what you are holding is not just food. It is a lesson. It's a story of transformation, a story of waiting, a story of strength, story through softness, of rising from within. The lesson that I want to share with you from the chapter 7 is bread taught me to be human. And being human, I learned to bake a better bread. On that note, I wish you all an amazing day ahead. Have a great day. Bon appetit. Thank you so much. Enjoy the bread.